How's everybody doing up there? This is the Black Effect, the real Black Effect. I just want to get into this quick topic. Things you need a man for. You hear women and people on the internet talking about, women saying that they don't need a man. You recently had women like Ebony K. Williams go out and get a sperm donor and to make herself a single mother. This was some things that was unheard. This is a thing that's been unheard of in years prior to this. This is some stuff that like we're trying to go against the norm of society that works. But these are things that you need a man for. She needed a man to have that baby. That's what you need a man for. You can't get around it. No matter what, you're gonna have a child that shares DNA of you and the man who you procreated with, or whose sperm it was. Because this woman went out, she wants. Ebony K. Williams is saying that she has a clause that when the child becomes 18, that they can come seek the man out. Why do they need to seek him out? Why do they need to see him? Why does he have anything to do with that at this point? He didn't lay down to consummate the child. You didn't, he wasn't there for the 18 years. You're raising him as your single mother. You're a single mother. Why are you bothering him after 18? Oh, because you know that it's natural for the person you brought into this world to want to know who their father is. That's a selfish thing for you to do. So let's get into the things that you need a man for. To have a baby, that's number one. And to have a family and to build community. Those are all number one. This is a universal thing amongst human beings. When you have a child, man and women, your woman can't have it by herself. When a man and woman lays down and have a child, that is what we call a family. That child needs their mother and father to be able to learn the things, to go out into society, to be able to build a functional society. So the family, it starts with the man and the woman. They have a kid, that's a family, and then they build community. One family over here, the next family over there, the next family down the street, and common they have a common solace. They have common goals, common interests. They have a family, and these things, they have a camaraderie that's in the community, that in turn goes out to the society. That's how it works on the small minute level. So that's very important. That's not something that we should just bypass, or try to get away from. So that's number one. The second thing you need a man for is preventive maintenance. Women are not good with preventive maintenance. I've noticed this from my mothers. I noticed this from being with women. So, for example, like maintenance on your car, keeping you from getting ripped off from these mechanics, or keeping you from just basically getting ripped off for services, because they're preventing all of the things going wrong. Your AC then just exploded. Your septic tank then just exploded. Then you stuffing all them wipes down there. You ain't never plunged it. So your septic tank exploded. Now you got to pay thousands of dollars. Your hot water then exploded. You could preventive maintenance would have went a long way. Men are good with that. Having a team of people, two people are better than will be better than one, to be able to keep one on point and remind the other. But men are definitely better at this, and will be is an asset for women to help you prevent a lot of things that go wrong within your appliances, your house, and everything else. Anything mechanical things that you need. Number three, it deters potential predators and attracts and attackers by his presence alone. That's things you need a man for. His presence alone deters certain dangers and certain threat levels. Like one man can see you, one crazed, deranged man can see you as a woman by yourself, and they could feel like, regardless if they think you got a weapon or not, they could feel like they can take you. They feel like it will be, it will be something that they can do to get the upper hand because they're a man. They will feel like that. But if that one man saw you with your man, he wouldn't think twice about trying you because the threat level is too high. He sees a man there. It's like a lion. Number three, guidance and temperance in finances. Women on average spend with no end. On average, women shop emotionally. They are more emotional than men. They swayed by the society, whatever society is pushing and trendy. They're more susceptible to that, as Eve was, with Satan. When society prevent them a way to gain power, a way to, take do something to, under the guise of, I'm using air quotes, make their life easier, live their best life, they're gonna do whatever. They'll throw people under the bus, whatever. But they finances, you see strippers, I've known strippers, they was making a lot of money, but they could never keep any. They could never keep any money, and they could never save any money. They could never keep the money, they could never save anything, and they could never build. Like, you never saw them building anything. They would never, they still had to resort to depending on a man. So that tells me something. Like, and it's not every woman who's like this, but I'm sorry, ladies, your species is more geared to being frivolous with their money. Historically, now that's just how it is. All right. The next thing you need a man for is, already, this kind of ties into the same thing. It's preventive maintenance around the house, keeping you safe in your house. Women can, like I said, with electrical appliances, you're not checking on them. You don't really understand how they work, how they operate. You got all of these things in different sockets, all of these, some women don't live organized lives. So you forgetting this, you got stuff all over here, buried under trash. That's a hazard. You can mess around and something can go wrong, and you can catch your house catch fire, or you burning there alive, or you know or anything, your gas is left on, you passing out, things like that. That just helps to have a man around who knows about those things and can prevent. He can catch it and prevent it. Sometimes that just helps with having two people. But that's things that men are geared for, or geared towards. Like, they understand maintenance men. You ever heard, like, that's what, men are more um acclimated to that. Now, let's get to the next one. What else do you need a man for? A masculine figure and perspective on the world, which, if all civility breaks down, he is the one who would dominate the world. You need his perspective and guidance. You need it. If things were to hit the fan, meaning the country was to become more carnal, and it was to be like in times of old, or in times like in other countries where you don't have a bunch of programs, and people not trying, it's dog eat dog, people not trying to save you, and ain't nobody looking out for nobody else. It's kind of like, you saw the movie The Book of Eli. Like, society has crumbled as far as civility. There is no civility. Every man for themselves. Government is crumbled. This is like, look at California. Like, these things are not far-fetched. So when the world gets like that, the more and more, the closer the world it gets to the world being like that, that masculine figure is sought out and needed. Look at Conan, the movie Conan. When you look at, like I said, in times of old, the masculine man, his traits were always needed. You need smart, intelligent, masculine men to give you their perspective in this world, because, again, they are the dominant figure. That's it. That's it, cut and dry. You have animals, you have cell, you have small cell organism, animals, you have man. Man is the dominant force on the earth. You'll never change it. And what he will give you is that masculine perspective on the world. That energy that comes with it, the perspective, the true perspective of the world. It's not all sweet and lovey-dovey. It's not just nurturing like the women want to be. It's not just all love and gumdrops. That's not how the world is in truth. We know it's pretty bad. It's dog eat dog. It's every man for themselves. And the most important thing you could do for your children is give them a family setting and structure, and a loving family setting and structure and guidance from both perspectives. They need that masculine perspective on the world, especially a man. You need that as a woman for your boys. And some people be talking about, oh, they can get it from their granddaddy. They can get it from their uncles. Well, ideally, they're supposed to get it from their father. You know, that you can go try to put your uncles out there, and fathers trying to be the masculine figure in your child's life, but they got their own things going. All right, and the next thing is food cultivation and preservation. That's the hunting and gathering perspective of man. I mean, it's the hunting and gathering ability and talent of man. Food cultivation and preservation, meaning the man, he hunts it and he knows how to preserve it, preserve your foods. He knows the right foods to eat. But he knows how to preserve your foods, like, and make them go a longer way. He can make it go a longer way. Men, you see men who hunt, they have all of this knowledge about things, the foods not to eat. Like, you see, when you see the coaches, look at all these coaches online, a lot of them who's telling you what not to eat and how to lose weight. A lot of them are males. They're men. You understand? And coming up with all these innovative ways and stuff to preserve your food, and they're men. Men are more acclimated to things like this. Women have their strong suits and things that they're more acclimated to. But that's the balance. You need man for the balance. That's why you need a man to balance your life out. Women are highly emotional. A masculine man, that energy can come in and balance that out. You see women sometimes going 0 to 100. Sometimes you talking and putting yourself in harm's way when you don't need to be. The masculine perspective will shut that down. Again, when you arguing with men, like, gay men feel like they can argue with women and put their hands on women and stuff like that. Not if she has a man and he's around. Again, that energy will be deterred. That energy will be stomped out. So, and the last thing you need a man for is probably one of the more obvious things, and that's to have a blessed and healthy sexual exchange without the use of toys or outside sources. Let me say that again. That's to have a blessed and healthy sexual exchange where there's no guilt. Blessed meaning there's no guilt. You ain't thinking you're doing something wrong. It don't feel wrong. Your conscience not telling you it's wrong. You don't feel filthy after it. You don't feel like a sexual deviant. So you have a blessed and healthy sexual exchange without the use of toys. Men and women getting together is like lock and key, because the equipment is there. There is a spiritual exchange that go on with them. That's why the Lord say, when you leave your mother and father and cling to your wife, you in marriage is consummated by sex. There's spiritual ties that go on there. In order to have those things, you have to have a man. You need him. You need him for that. Do you understand? A man can go down on a woman, and he have the equipment to answer her and make it do what it do. He don't without for outside source. He ain't gotta be going and getting the no straps. He ain't gotta be down there for 30 minutes and can't do nothing else. Nah, the man and women getting together like lock and key. That's why the Lord ordained it that way. And in order to have a blessed and healthy sexual exchange without the use of toys or outside sources, you need a man. So with that being said, this is the Black Effect, the real Black Effect. I'm gone.